Gentlemen, be with you in just a moment or two. Let's get out of that and jump into this motherfucker. Excuse me, gents. My sound's going to go off for just a second. Hang on. All right. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Went to go to camera. Not on the camera. Hang on one second. Well, yeah, I can't tell you what's going on with the video there. For some strange reason, my camera is not coming on. Few seconds, but you know what I mean. Camera is not working. This piece of shit. It's all right. Let's see what we can do. Oh, that's why. It switched it back. Okay, there we go. When this piece of shit USB extension that I use decides that it's going to just switch off randomly, which it does, which means I got to buy another one. Yeah, that's what it does. It switches it back to the integrated camera on the laptop, and I got that motherfucker covered up. So what's going on, folks? How you doing? I'm chilling. Oh, man, let's go back up to the top here and see if we can see something. Damn, there's a lot of comments in here already. Geo Kicks. Where's Hammer? Right here. I'm right here, man. How you doing? Mouth Agape Ape. Dang. I be early. You be early. Yes, sir. White folks. Is that you white folks? Or just white folks? What's up, everyone? Phil D's. They are completely desexualizing the World of Warcraft. The problem isn't the game. The problem is the bad apples at their company, but the players are being punished for it. But they don't view themselves as bad apples. Do they? No. They don't view themselves as bad apples. They view themselves as honorable. They view themselves as taking the moral and ethical high ground on everything. You don't know what's really good for you, so they're going to share it with you. They're going to tell you what's good for you. And that's the way that people do things nowadays, and it's going to be that way for the foreseeable future. Wookiee supremacy. MGTOW saves lives. I'm not going to disagree with you. What I'll say is the opportunity that people have with MGTOW, the opportunity that people have to explore the philosophy, that saves lives. When you know for a fact that you're not alone, that you're not going insane, that there are millions of other people out here, however trite this might sound, that you can share your grief with, whether you want to admit it or not. You know, it helps. It helps big time. CBR Damon. Hey, Hammer. What's up, man? How you doing? Fabian Farina. Here we go. Mark Splice. Hey, guys. Chris Winters. Yo. 9 Life Media. Best show on YouTube. And so few know about it. Oh, man. There's a good one right there. How about that? Monster Kill 702. God bless every person in here. Yeah. The few, the proud, the few. Yeah. Retarded Dwarf, Hammer Rave. Yeah. A little bit, sort of, kind of. 9 Life Media. My family is addicted to Hammerhand. Oh, man, that's not good. Oh, good God, gentlemen. I'm sure that you can see it in that face right there. Daddy is tired. Tired as fucked. Anufo La Antigua. I wasn't subscribed to Pop's, so I missed the live stream with Pop. Well, you can catch it on Redonkulous, or you can catch it over on my channel. It's up on both. It's up on both. Mouth Agape Ape Hammerhand, you pinned my comment on a recent video, and I wanted to thank all the brothers who responded with encouraging comments. You got it, bro. It ain't no problem. I'm going to say something, though. If your comment gets pinned, and you know if it's the pin of shame. You know if it's the pin of shame. If your comment gets pinned and you get resistance, stand your ground. Stand your ground. Don't apologize for your opinion. If your opinion is uninformed, inform yourself. It's the best thing that you can do. Don't be afraid to accept new information to change and better your opinion of anything. Of anything. Bones McCoy, hammer time. Yes, sir. Speednom. I'm not going with the rest of that. I'm gonna call you Speed. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call you Speed. Just got home from work and the hammer fell on my head. Oh shit. Francesco Fragal, when camera is on black screen. Yeah, not quite, but we just got switched off. Mohamed El Said, hi, salute from Egypt. Salute from America. Hope everything is going okay over there in Egypt. I understand that it's a little warm. Yo, Hammer. Yo, Felix Mercedes. Hammer, what's up, man? How you doing? Well, gents, as far as I know, this is streaming over on YouTube. Line of MGTOW, still on the road, and give them nothing. Absolutely. Fucking give them nothing. Let me pull this up over on ScrewyTube and make sure that I can watch my thing. I was just watching Chronic's gutting of Mia Khalifa, the disgusting thought, that went and bought titties with all of her porn money and is worth a couple mil, but she didn't get paid enough. What's the price for your soul? What's the price for that soul? I imagine it's not too high. You just wanted more. So Chronic just went over 36,000 subs, man. Congratulations, Undead. That is fucking magnificent. Magnificent. E-Man is coming back up. I'll break 17,000 tonight or sometime in the morning. There we go. Get that put up there. Oh, that's the way I can watch comments and shit on there, and I can just concentrate on what I'm doing and yada, yada, yada. Gentlemen. Well, I hope for those of you that tuned in to Redonkulous, to Pop and Blake, producer extraordinaire, that you guys weren't disappointed. They originally only wanted to go 2 hours, but man, that shit was flowing so good, and there was so much info. Yeah, and there was so much info. I don't think we could have gotten it all in 6 hours, but we canned it at 3. I think that's pretty good. The comments are awesome. I've gone back through about half of it, maybe 55-ish% of it. And I'll be making some minis out of that 3 hours right there. And that's going to populate. That's going to be most of the content that I put up over the next week or so. But one subject, man, that I wanted to cover, but we didn't have much of an opportunity for it, was men's health. Yeah. Coming on the heels of Vincent MGTOW and his passing, Warren Ballant. Warren Ballant, that's his name. Like we didn't know what Paul Proteus's name was until he was dead. And these fellas are not dying in their 80s and 90s. They're dying young. They're dying young. You have to take care of yourselves, guys. You got to take care of yourselves. I understand if you're in a position that you can't I understand that. I understand if you've already rounded the fucking bend and your body is in bad shape and you're in trouble. This is not for those of us that can't correct a problem that we see. This is for those of us that have the ability to head this off at the pass. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's pretty much specifically why I jumped on here today, was to talk about men's health, was to figure out what we need to get done in our lives. Now, obviously, mental health is a real issue, and not just with men, but with everyone, with men and with women. Mental health is an extreme problem right now. I've never seen it this jacked up in my life. Never. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. And I will say, brothers, and the couple of sisters that are in here grifting around saying what's up. Your mental health, your physical health is all that you've got. You know, like when I look around, I've got a lot of stuff to look at, right? I got eye candy galore. But if you're dead, then the eye candy doesn't mean anything. People are so short-sighted. In many respects, people are short-sighted to the point of compromising themselves to a fatal extent. And they shouldn't do that. We're not going to live forever. We're not going to live forever. Nobody's going to live forever. You know, when Pop was saying on the stream a couple of nights ago that he fluctuates between, like, what was it, 190 and 205, somewhere around there. Weight fluctuation for me has always been a thing. That has never not been a thing. That has never not been a thing. And it's not just a little fluctuation. It's wild fluctuations, 30, 40, 50 pound fluctuations. And I'm probably, if I'm being honest with myself, probably one of the cleanest eaters that I know. What you need, man? You taking it with you? Well, go ahead. No. Just bring it back when you're done. I'm probably one of the cleanest eaters that I know. And, you know, you have folks that'll sit out there and they'll tell you, man, get bucked up, get jacked, go to the gym. You can go work out, go climb a mountain, whatever it is. Whatever you do, you have to maintain a certain degree of physicality. Because once you start to slow, your body's not going to want to pick it back up again. You have to be able to do that. Your health is very, very important. So how do you get there? What do you do for you? What can you do to put you in a better place in life? What do you do? Do you get off booze? Do you get off cigarettes? Do you stop smoking dope? Do you try to recognize the things that are going on inside of you mentally and physically and head them off at the pass, so to speak? Yeah, all of those things are correct. Do you have to quit cold turkey? Maybe, maybe not. You know, maybe not. Let me jump back up in these chats just a minute, gents, and see what we can see. 75 of y'all in the house right now. Let me make sure that that's legit. Yeah, 75 of y'all in the house. Polska Bob. Mia implant exploded during a hockey game. She got hit by a puck. Is that for real? Is that for real? MGTOW Cowboy. Hello, everyone. Cheers from Chicago. What's up, man? Yeah, as you know, I was just up in Detroit, and oh my God, that looked like a mini war zone running through there. taking 75 up through Detroit proper. Fucking road signs, tires, debris, cars, like wrecked fucking cars, all up and down 75. Crazy, crazy shit, man. Free Ross, rest in peace, Warren. Absolutely. Yes, sir. I know that he is. Salty Tech, cheers to Chicago. Oh, excuse me. Are you holding enough rounds? Hiro Momo. Howdy at Hammerhand. I was glad to see you back on Pop's stream. Glad to be there, man. Glad to be there. Francesco Fragile. Cancer doesn't age discriminate at the same time, though. No, it doesn't. I mean, you can have it anywhere. You can carry it for years before it becomes active. And yeah, there's just nothing that can be done. If you have certain genetic dispositions, and you're genetically fucked, then you're genetically fucked. It's not to say that you can't head it off at the pass. We've got a couple of brothers right now that are fighting various forms of cancer, and they're doing a good job. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Get that fucking thing in there. There you go. And they're taking it seriously, and they're understanding that they've got to make sacrifices. They've got to make amends, so to speak, with their bodies, and they got to get things squared away. You got to. You can't walk around in a funk all day long. You can't walk around in a depression. You can't be perpetually broken and destroyed because of a female, because money's not right. I learned how to live with little things, little victories. These are little things out there on the wall behind me there, right here in front of me, all around me. Don't cost a hell of a lot. They don't break the bank. I mean, unless you go ape shit. Yeah, Anufo Lantigua. Almost all cancer comes from meat, dairy, and egg consumption. It's funny. That's about 99% of everything that you see out there. Hostile MGTOW, Ibmore, and SYSBM. Yes, sir. Imperfect citizen, self-respect, and love. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm still not right from the fucking travels there. I sat and did that 3 hours there with Pop. I had been up about 6 hours before that, and then I drove 6 hours home with Pop and Blake. I can never not say Blake. For people that give Blake shit just because he's Blake, you gotta understand the guy. He does a lot. He does not deserve that kind of derision at all. Thomas J. Khalifa probably got paid 10 times more than the male actors. Oddly enough, nobody has shouted equal pay in the porn industry. No. And why would they? Women are on top of things. Even when it's scuzzy and disgusting, they can claim a victory, right? Right? Abso-fucking-lutely. Nobody, normal men don't turn in to watch fucking Sausage Fest. They tune in to fantasize about fucking women. Excuse me. That's just my personal opinion. If yours differs, keep that shit to yourself. James Young. The advice I've given to my kids are, if you don't feel well, please see your doctor. At minimum, get a physical every year. Yeah. And you, in my opinion, just my opinion, you do have to put them on to the fact that doctors are pushing shit that they get paid to push. It doesn't really have anything to do with your health. That they milk insurance policies. They drain them. Well, you sure you don't want to come back for this one? Oh, we have 6 new shots over here from AstraZeneca. You want to try one? They do it all the time, constantly. They peddle fucking drugs to you on everything that fucking has a picture or a sound in your house. It's just fucking crazy. Red pill mixed breed. How's everything going? Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Retarded dwarf. What do you call a garden tool that was boring and lame as a prawn star, but still managed to extract a few million from the industry? Typical. I'm sure that there's another answer there, but I'm going to say typical. Anulfo Antigua. Eat tons, rice, beans, legumes, and all the fruits and veggies that you want. Yes, sir. Francisco, eat, exercise, rest, and repeat. Yes, sir. Mohanad El Said, getting better thanks to training. I can relax, but also still angry about the job or angry about the jab. Is that what you're going to say? Well, if you're angry about the job, brother, it might be time to change jobs. So I'll be damned if I'd want to go in every single day anticipating being pissed off or mad about a job. I don't think so. Not me. JT, those cats in Australia are just broken. They are fucked up. They are completely flipped upside down. And it's not going to get right until people just drop out of the system and say, fuck you, fuck your system. We're not taking your shit. We're not going to do your crap. We're not doing it. And there's not enough of them to enforce it if enough people say no. There's just not. There's not. People, you have to be willing to pay the fucking price. You know, all of that mouth, that lip service that people give you, you got to sacrifice. You got to be willing to sacrifice. Well, there's no more worthy cause for sacrifice than to improve the conditions of your life, to improve the conditions, the existence of humanity. There's no more worthy a cause. Yeah, I think we need that pretty good. We need that. Alex Homer, I need friends for my mental health. I used to think that. And I'm not saying that it's not true. I think, my opinion personally, I used to get a lot out of life, especially when I could look forward to going and hanging out with friends. But that friend shit changed, man. It changed for me. When I started getting stabbed and motherfuckers weren't just low-key coming after you, they were just coming after you, that ain't a friend. That's somebody that's interested in using you, and somebody that wants to make an example out of you, or they found a new best friend, and then they got to go out there and be what people typically are, is unreasonable and stupid and uncaring. There's a whole bunch of that out there. Legodlack. I fucked that up. I'm sure I did. To be honest, a male model pulls about the same amount of money through their career as a female model. We can milk the pea industry for 354 plus years, and women are done in 3 to 4. Yeah. When you average it out, you go and you look at the top females, the top 10 females, top 10 males. The females are out earning the men big time, right? But I'm not going to sit there and cry poor mouth over something like that. I would just as soon see the industry abolished. Get rid of it. Fuck them all. It's a societal blight and a cancer that is accepted because people choose to trade a little bit of that soul every time they go after some porn. This isn't a moral or ethical lecture. It's not a religious lecture. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that you can't find that type of gratification out here anymore unless you're one of the very few top percents of people, and even they aren't happy. They're just getting laid. They're still not happy. How do you get that back into life? That's hard to do. Everything is so fucked up. That's hard to do. That's another thing about mental health. And then when you start to factor in how many women as a whole, as a collective, are on fucking head meds, that's bad news, man. That's bad news. That's just more of the weight of the world that men are going to have to carry. And eventually they're not going to be able to, you know. We're very close to the point where everybody starts to pack it in. Very, very close to the point where people start packing it in. And I don't mean death. I don't mean suicide. I mean, they're just going to say, no. No. I think we're done, you know. And they're going to refuse to carry the burden that society, that government put on them. They're not going to do it. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. This is not what your life was supposed to be. Not what your life was supposed to be. No, I always mess this one up. Never rate. That's salty tech. I'm not surprised. Internet was made by the government. Now corporations run the government. I think it'd be a good thing if the power grid collapsed. I think it would be a terrible thing if the power grid collapsed. You would see 1 million people planted in the first day, and they're not getting put underground. They'll get put on ice. They'll get stacked outside. They'll get fucking salted over and limed over until somebody can burn them or bury them. I think it'd be a terrible thing to see the power grid collapse. All of these folks out here that wish for some kind of war have never been to war, you know? And if they have, they're psychopaths. Give them 2 to the back of the fucking head and get those kind of people out of society. Because that ain't no place for me. I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to have to clean up in the latter stages of my fucking life, rebuild civilization. I don't want to have to do that. Imperfect citizen. Don't just shift your validation seeking from women to bros. Establish achievable standards for yourself and work to achieve them. I agree with you. One thing that I've seen over the years here doing this this MGTOW thing is men have cashed in females to a certain extent, and they've traded that type of validation in for the validation that comes from someone else, from other men. That ain't a great thing. You know, you have to be able to live outside of somebody else's valuation of who and what you are. You got to be able to live outside of that. You know, it's a sad thing to see so many people so dependent on somebody. That's a great fucking job there, man. Great job. Shit, you pat somebody on the shoulder now, you go into jail. You know, it's a joy kind of world. Oh, no. It's Demolition Man. It really is. Really is. We're police officers. We're not trained for this type of violence. Salty Tech, my brother and I, for almost 20 years, were at odds over which security system was best, Microsoft Security or McAfee. I don't think either one of them were very, very, very awesome. I mean, if you make a third-party security system and you install it, if you have that kind of talent and you can do that, that would probably be best, because the people making it can disable it. They can hand over the keys. They've got all your information. You know, that's what McAfee did, right? He gave away 200, 300 laptops to people that worked in defense departments, and he was skimming the information, keystroking everything. Lots of shit. So he said, anyways. So he said. I don't know if that's actually true, but so he said. Caitlin McIntyre, hobbies for the win over friends. Got to find that self-love and not depend on others for that validation. Too true. Yeah, I agree with that. Caitlin, just, look around. Look around. Now you tell me. What kind of female is going to walk in, see this, and be like, oh, yeah, sure, that's cool. We can do that. No, they won't do it. They won't do it because you've got something in your life that bugs them. It's intimidating for a lot of people to walk into somebody else's life and know that they're good. You know, it means it puts the onus on them to actually build a relationship. Who do you know today that can actually build a relationship with somebody? I don't think I know 5 people that can do that. And all of them are about my age, about 50-ish. Melkia? It would certainly restore a certain balance if the power grid went down. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't restore any balance. All it would do is throw what has been established into complete pandemonium and kill a whole bunch of people. That's what it would do. And while we're on the subject of talking about mental health, this constant wanting and needing of war, that's not good. Who does that help? Man, that doesn't help nobody. We keep talking about men going their own way, right? Women trying to get their shit shaped up so that they can at least figure out what the fuck's going on in their lives. And then on top of that, you got to worry about struggling, strife, war, no fucking power, cold showers. If you get a shower, who wants to deal with that? Who wants to contend with that shit? You want to know why the world's in a fucking mess? That's one of the big reasons why the world is in a fucking mess. I agree with you, Lion. Big time, big time. Sigma Rodan, Afternoon Hammer. What's going on, sir? Man, I just wanted to pop in here for a little bit. We're at 37 minutes right now. UK MGTOW, send Greta Thunberg to China. I don't know if she'd understand where she was. I really don't. Northwest Olympics, it would kill city people. They're the enemy. They're not your enemy. Where do you guys come up with this shit? Just because of their location, their geographical location, they're not the enemy. They're as brainwashed as anybody else out there. They still get up every morning with hopes and dreams. Things, even if they're vacuous, they still get up with hopes and dreams. And they go to bed with handfuls of hopes and dreams and disappointment. You know, they're not your enemy, man. The people that endorse usury, people that would crush your freedom, these are your enemies. And it doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter if they're men or women. None of that matters. They're usurpers. And they deserve that kind of fate, the fate that a usurper gets. Jenahaj, did I get it right? Jenahaj? All hail the greatest demagogue child. No, I think I'll pass on that one. Biologist, send Greta to Africa so she knows what poverty and misery is. She definitely has no clue. You know, you can send a moron like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You can send Cortez to the border where she slap her fucking face in her hands. These people out here they're insane. They're insane. You know, and bartenders that become elected Congress people, I think, are even more insane. They try to pass themselves off as Jenny from the block, like Jenny was trying to pass herself off as Jenny from the block, and all of that dumb shit. People out here today, I've seen it almost all of my life, but it's worse now than it's ever been. People out here, they live these freeze frame images of what they think they should be. I don't think I've met a person in recent memory that knew exactly who and what they were. You know, you can tell what kind of shows they watch, you know, by the way that they talk and by the way that they act and dress. You can tell if they actually do watch TV or don't watch TV. There's a lot of things that they wouldn't know about, you know. Steph, Hammerhand, what is your opinion of the COVID vaccine? I think that it's bogus. That's always been my opinion of the COVID vaccine. I don't particularly think you should go out and get it, but if everybody else out there decides that that's what they want to do, go get it. Have fun. I don't want it, and I'm not doing it. That's it. We knew a long time ago when this first started coming around, within 2 months, the government was never going to be able to mandate that you go and get something. So that what they did was they shifted it to the private sector to make the private sector pressure you, the citizen. And you shouldn't be calling yourself a citizen anyways, by the way. But I won't get into that. To make the human being, the human individual, go out there and get it, or you wouldn't be able to eat. What's more important to you, a little stick or eating at night? That should tell you all that you need to know about these motherfuckers. Willing to starve you out to put their fucking stamp on you. You don't have no vaccine problems. You ain't got no COVID. Why do you need a shot? Why do you need an injection? It's not a vaccine anyways. It's gene therapy. And everybody knows that it's gene therapy. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And they wonder why motherfuckers are jumping out of buildings. Oh, I just had a fucking comment pulled up and the motherfucker just disappeared. Well, I think I'll try to find it later. Caitlin McIntyre. Hammer, were you talking about the decorations on your wall? If that's your office, I don't see any problem with the decorations like that in your office. My husband has his walls covered with art tattoo. Well, you can call it my office. It's my room. It's a big room. But yeah. I don't know, man. I've noticed that people at work, I came up with this thing a little while ago where I started calling humans facsimiles. You know, like a fax machine. They just kind of run them off. Give this one a yellow shirt, give that one a purple shirt, give that one over there a pair of slacks, and that one over there some khakis. But they're pretty much the same. And yeah, that's my new thing for people is facsimiles. People are facsimiles of one another, you know, and it rages inside the culture. Big time. Patcom 101. AOC, all out crazy. She's an insane bitch. She is. Tomb of Arminius. Soviet Russia had the same issues. Retards in positions of power. But are they retards? Are they? I don't think that they are. I think they're evil. I think that they're malevolent. I think that they're hateful. I think they're consumed by ideology and a thirst for power. And that's really the only and greed and avarice. And I think that that's the only reason these people get into politics nowadays. You always got these suckers that roll around talking, oh man, I'm going to change the system from the inside out. What? 200,000? And then they're gone. Everybody thought so much of Dan Crenshaw when Crenshaw was going in. Got a patch over his eye, lost his eye in the service of the country. What's he been doing? How many anti-gun laws has he been voting on? You don't have fucking Republicans. You don't have Democrats. We've got rulers, and you elect your own oppressors, folks. If you can even believe in the election system anymore, I can't. CD Runner, why don't you trust the government? Well, I worked on an oil rig till Biden was elected. I bet. I believe that. What did he put out of work? 17,000 people his first week, 2 weeks in office when he canceled the pipeline. Yep, sure did. That pipeline's not canceled, man. They won't disassemble that. All they'll do is just hold on for another 4 years and wait and see what happens. Then they'll come back in with all of the pipeline that's left, and they'll say, "We got to complete this project. It's for the people." You fucking morons. I hate these people. I really do. Free Ross at Bones McCoy. True, but sending young men to die endlessly is insane. Of course it is. Of course it is. It always has been. Tommy Wizzo at Hammerhand. Glad I could catch this live. Been quiet, but still around. Glad you are still here. You've grown a lot these past couple of years. I think that's a great thing. Thank you. I thank you for being around, T. Wizzo. I thank you very much for being around. Yeah, I know you've been quiet, and it's cool. I had wondered if you was just going to MGTOW your way right on out of the fucking set and be like, I'm going to go live my life. There's a lot of folks that do. I can see the appeal. I absolutely see the appeal. Dragon Sanguis, no TV for 15 years. Yeah. I don't think I've watched regular TV. I got sucked into a series here called To Live and Drive Formula One, or Formula One, The Drive to Survive. That's what it is. Formula One, The Drive to Survive, it's actually pretty fucking good. Pretty good. It doesn't cost me nothing, so I watched it. I watched like season 1, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty fucking good. Shot very well. It's something that interests me. And yeah, it's good stuff. But before that, the last television show that I watched was That 70s Show. And before that, I can't remember the last. It was probably Star Trek. Didn't watch Enterprise. Like, I think I've seen 3 episodes of Enterprise. I like DS9. I like Next Generation. Of course, I like the original. And that's that. I will watch like rerun movies and shit. But I got to, well, not like rerun. I got to get them on disc. I have to have them on some kind of media format where I can control commercials, because I can't stand watching TV. I can't stand watching commercials. My God. Oh. Whew. UK MGTOW. Another ban, Hammer. Maybe. You see how fast the channel's coming up, man. You see what they're going to start looking. They're going to be like, they will be giving me the side eye one more again, talking about, hey, he was supposed to be gone for the 7th time. What's all of this? They don't look. This is what I'm saying. They don't need a reason. You can have a fucking title in your video titled the wrong way, and they'll be like, oh, it's a violation and a violation. They don't need a reason. They just try to satisfy that very shallow terms of service, that nebulous terms of service that they put out there. Well, he is Caucasian. Okay. Well, that's one strike. Blue Skank. What's your opinion of the right-left paradigm? Is that it's the same thing? That's my opinion. It's bread and circus. Are there people on both sides that believe it? Yep. Are there people on both sides that are fighting to do what they say that they want to do? Yep. Is it an endless, pointless, absurd, ridiculous roadblock? Yes. Going to a voting booth now serves one side of the aisle. That's it. It only serves one side of the aisle. If you want to believe in sides, I don't. Chris Winters, real talk. Yeah, let me try to, man. Jedi Run. ALC did not grow up in the Bronx. She grew up in West. Oh, yeah, I know that. I was just playing. I was just goofing around, just using the Jenny from the Block thing. She grew up in Westchester. Sliwa, who was running for mayor, offered to come out and help clean up the community, and she never responded to him. Total fraud. Of course she's a fraud. She was bitching about the $175,000 that she was going to be upgraded to within 6 months. It's just not enough, to go from this place to that place and to be a U.S. congressperson and blah, 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 blah. 175 grand is not enough, gang. What do you think about that? To run around and jet set all fucking day and all night for as long as you're in office? Nice, expensive threads, right? The finest in rouge lipstick. You're not a whore. No, you're not a whore. Fuck. James Young, I'm fortunate in two ways. My employer hasn't pushed it. Second, I would get an exception because I'm allergic to most of the ingredients in every vaccine. You would hope that you'd get an exception. You hope. There's a lot of people out there that thought that they were going to get those exemptions and exceptions, and that didn't happen. A lot of them are dead now. Caitlin McIntyre, problem with voting nowadays seems to be that you're voting for the lesser of two turds, lesser of two evils, and it shouldn't be limited to those two options. Can't stand voting these days. I agree with you. I absolutely despise voting. I can't stand the concept now of walking into a booth and saying, do I want to vote for this cocksucking piece of shit, foreign interest-driven motherfucker? Or do I want to vote for this cocksucking piece of shit, foreign-driven, you know what I meant? Foreign interest-driven motherfucker. There you go. I'm still tired. And UFO, who knows? Maybe they are planning all this to clean all weak genes. Oh, I don't think so, man. Think about what this little viral load has done. It cleaned out a lot of people that were collecting Social Security that the country has to borrow on, right? I mean, I'm pretty quickly approaching that age. To be honest with you, I will probably be on something before I reach that age simply because of what's going on with me. But yeah, I couldn't imagine having to put in 12 more, 13 more. That ain't going to happen. UK MGTOW, Trump didn't force people to take the jab or lose their jobs. No, I didn't say anything about Trump doing anything. To me, when somebody says Trump didn't force this or force that, he recommended that people take it, and that's cool. That's cool. You can recommend it. I ain't gonna, but you can recommend it. But there was a ton of things that he did that shouldn't have been done. There was a lot of things that he needed to do, like pulling the protections for big tech, publisher or platform. Had 4 fucking years to do that. Was painfully, woefully aware of what was going on out here in social media land. Didn't do a fucking thing about it. Didn't do nothing about it. Did he accomplish a lot? Yes. Yes, he accomplished a lot. But he did prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that he is gynocentric. He's gynocentric as fuck. Plain and simple. Francesco, that's why they got rid of him, because he was about to compromise a 20-year plan. Think about it. I already knew that. I knew that. You had every major liberal, progressive, and secularist in this country 2 years before he was gone saying the only way to get him out is to break the economy. How do you break the economy? Sorry about all your jobs, gang, but, I'm willing to risk that. That was Bill Maher's exact quote. And now Bill Maher is out there talking about, we need to come together. Can you imagine trying to force them? Yeah, I can imagine it because you advocated for it, you piece of shit. Fucking scumbag. I can imagine it. Sure. People like Mar, they play that political polo, that political water polo. And when they accidentally whack one too far, they got to get out in front of it and whack it back a little bit. And that's exactly what he and others of his ilk do. When people say, oh man, Mar's red-pilled. No, Mar's playing the game. There's no such a thing as a red pill or a blue pill to them. It's power. It's living inside the structure that they want, that they enable. They don't want you waking up and living your fucking life. They want you in 40 hours a week forever. Forever. That's what they want. Sean Doherty got the coup in 2019, survived it, now don't need the jab. Well, not so fast, sir. You've already seen all of that bullshit out there, right? Of course you need the jab. Breaking in on 55 minutes and there's nonsense. Oh, my God. Almost 200 of y'all. 178, 76 now. Watching, chilling. Oh. Folks, this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about on PopStream. I'm going to go ahead and get to it. Let me set the Wayback Machine. In about 2007, I started going to automotive science school. Now, you can call it a tech college. You can call it any number of for-profit training centers to get your ass out there and to try to do something better with your life. And that's what I did. So I went in and got a degree in automotive science and in automotive management, business management. But I was a wrench turner. I was a knuckle buster, basically. And I didn't mind that. I love doing what I do. It's just getting to the point where I can't do it anymore. And I did that for a number of years, all the way up until 14. So I put in a hard 7 years. It was a hard 7 years. And I was noticing lots of problems standing, a lot of problems with ankles, a lot of problems with elbows, a lot of problems with tendinitis, the brachial muscle that runs right across from your elbow, stretched out across both of your forearms, was on fire, just on fire. And it's for months on end. And I said, I think maybe this job's a little too physical. Maybe I'm going to go do something else. So that's when I stepped into a truck. Middle of 2014, jumped into a truck, never looked back. Loved it, thought it was great. It can be troublesome. That first year for somebody who has a brand new CDL, that's a make or break year. If you get through the first year, you'll probably stay in it. And if you don't, you probably don't need to stay in it. You probably should get out of it, because if you haven't learned how to handle the truck and the weight and the shifting the loads, by that point in time, if you can't meet schedule demands, it's probably best that you not drive. And you especially don't want to drive under pressure. But what did I say? Yeah, imperfect citizen, guys. If y'all work on your feet, wear quality insoles. That was another problem. Is I felt like I might have collapsing arches, and it turns out that it wasn't collapsing arches. It was just a lot of bullshit going on with the body, and I had no idea what it was. So I sat in the truck for 7 years. Was it 7 years? Yeah, 7 years. Just got out about a year ago, went back into the automotive business. Now, while I was in the truck, I noticed I was not just achy, but in a stunning amount of pain. And I thought it was just rust from sitting down, from having been active. And that wasn't exactly the case. When I got back into automotive mechanics here, I started to understand very quickly that this was something different. This was something else. It wasn't a matter of just being rusty. Something was wrong. So about 90 days ago, I jumped and went to the hospital. told him what was going on, and we went and got sent off for some x-rays. And as it turns out, I have severe osteoarthritis. Oops. I asked the doctor about that. I said, well, what's the difference between, arthritis, osteoarthritis, and severe osteoarthritis? And he says, well, you have severe osteoarthritis. So we got the x-rays back. Now we x-rayed my ankles, knees, and hips. Those were 3 of the 4 areas that I identified that were absolutely unmanageable. And that wasn't really good. Yeah. This is the lead-in for, well, it was supposed to be the lead-in a couple of days ago. But like I said, that conversation that we were having over there at Redonkulous was spectacular. And I didn't want to interrupt that. I thought it was just great, and we went with it. So I'm telling you now, severe osteoarthritis comes with a set of penalties that are irreversible. You can't fix them. I have holes that are rubbed into the back of the ball sockets in my hips. I have bone spurs in my hips. I have shin splints. I have bone spurs in both ankles. They're terrible in the left ankle. And like these hands right here, when I use them for 5 minutes, it feels like there's pencils under my skin. It's pretty insane shit. I am went from nothing, no medications, to 7 in the last 90 days. And I am on probably more gabapentin than a person should be able to tolerate. It's approaching 3,000 milligrams a day. And I didn't want to tell you that on the backside of Vention just having passed. It was my intention that when I found out about this, that I was going to say something about it, because I knew it was going to affect how I produce and the not quality, but the amount of production here. Gang, I gotta be square with you. I don't know what one day is going to be like, and the next day is. There's no predictability anymore, like none. If I go to bed tonight and I have to take a sleep agent to go to bed, I've had terrible insomnia for 15 years. If I wake up an hour after I go to bed, I'm up. I can't go back to bed. Can't go back to sleep. And then I stay up and I get exhausted, like busted ass exhausted. And then I try to go to sleep. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then that knocks me down for 2 or 3 days. And this has gotten very not good in a very short amount of time. So I'm sitting there looking at the pill bottles over there, and I'm like, yeah. The long and the short of it is, for me, my future is not going to be great. It's not going to be great. The medication is going to kill me long before old age kills me. And that's why you should take care of your health. That's why you should do the things that you need to do while you're young and you have the ability to do those things. Now, I did ask him, I said, well, like if I was 20 or 25 and I'd been jacked and working out and all of that, I says, would that have affected it? He said, no, it would have slowed it down, but you'd still be where you're at now. That's not an excuse to not go out and try to take care of business. Always try to maintain your health. Always. It's all you've got. If you don't have your health, you don't have these cool things to look at on the wall. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. You're in a box. That's it. So while I've been sitting here running my fucking flapper, I am going to jump on here and go back up in these comments because I've been running my mouth for a minute. So bear with me while I find these comments out. Here we go. Barfly13 caught the hammer live. Finally, happy days. Man. Salty Tech, especially in Michigan and New York. Free Ross at Salty Tech. Yeah, just exited the market. It's about to crash. I did too. Everything that I had in, I've pulled out. Wasn't much, but it's not something that I want to lose. Santa Claus, voting is a joke. Imperfect citizen, guys. If you work on your feet, wear quality insoles and save your back. There is not enough to be said for that statement right there. Not enough to be said for that statement. If you're walking on concrete floors, and like me, I work in a shop and it's concrete floors. You have got to have good footwear, something that can absorb the shock from your heels to your spine, to your lower lumbar. You've got to have that. You've got to have it. Red, Citizen Walter Sorrell is good to learn from. You should give it a go. And UFO, stop consuming animal products, Hammer. Is all that fat and cholesterol that we are messing with your nervous? No, it's not that at all. I've had more blood work done on me in the last year than most cancer patients. That's not a joke. Not a joke. I'm actually kind of obsessed about making sure that everything is cool. And everything is cool. Blood-wise. Body-wise, my body is worn out. When they tell you that you have severe osteoarthritis, what they're telling you is that all of these joints in here, you've got bone on bone everywhere. The little fluid sacs, they're all worn out. You can't replace them all. There's no reversing it. And it's worse in the ankles, knees, hips, and hands. It's terrible in the ankles, knees, hips, and hands. And can you do anything about it? No. You can't do anything about it. It doesn't mean that you should let yourself degenerate, and go get 65 Krispy Kremes and 3 turkeys a week to eat. I don't think you should do that. You should try to make your life as decent as possible, as easy as you can make it. Especially food-wise, body-wise. You don't want to get caught up in that bullshit. It's bad news. Nathan Woodruff, the end game, all in the BS government mandates. Mandates are for all the government to have willingly sign up for the vaccine passport come December, blah, blah, fuck them and their vaccine passport. I ain't doing it. Don't give a fuck. Brat man, my job that I've worked at for the last 4 years just mandated vaccines. Well, I knew that they would. I think everyone, I know that people got to eat. I know that they got kids to raise. Brothers, what did we come from? Figure out what we came from. There wasn't fucking cell phones 200 years ago or air conditioning. We too soft. We're too fucking soft. We're too soft. And that makes it easy to control you. Makes it very, very pliable. And that's not a good thing, man. Not a good thing. Melchiah. Got to get out of here. Got to get out of there, man. My father took it. I'm fucking terrified for him. Yeah. I would be too. My brother took it. And I asked him what the fuck he was doing, what was on his mind when he took it. He didn't want to have to deal with the pressure that comes with trying to keep a fucking job. So, yeah. Salty Tech. I don't believe for 1 minute that Donald Trump is the only person entrusted in this country to save us. There is no way he was ordained by God to have that power. He was not put in any position to save us. If you need somebody to save you, you're already lost. If you need somebody to save you, you're lost. Unless you're talking about your Father who art in heaven. That's the only person, only entity that can save you. Salty Tech. Oh, I just read that shit. Francisco. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Wacko. I have same shit what Hammer mentioned. Damn Packard Kenworth DAF Peter Pill. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, Jerry Weber. Vincent blamed soda, especially Mountain Dew. I know a cat. Well, I knew a cat. He's deceased. Did not have a good life. When we knew him as kids, he would bang a 12-pack of Mountain Dew a day, and he ended up with pancreatitis, and it was causing him terrible fucking problems. Terrible problems. He ended up in one car accident. He was already a raging alcoholic by the time he was 15, and that came directly from his parents, and they got to bury their son. So, yeah. An UFO, Hammer, no more animal products. Yeah, we already read that one. Francesco, glucosamine helps with this, not with what I've got. Glucosamine inflates the material between your joints. I don't have any. It's gone. It's a degenerative disorder, and it only gets worse with age. There's no cure. There's no cure for it. Captain Shark Pinhead is Is that for real? Is that for real? Jeff Ropel, hey Hammer, I go for nerve burns. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I think I know what you're talking about there. Yeah, I don't do that. I'm on what am I on now? I'm on 2 very strong muscle relaxers, an insane amount of painkiller. What else? Lisinopril, mild aspirin, and what?
Ceiling shaking.
Great. Go. I'm on a live. 4 fucking times. Salty Tech. Do you people realize we're a fucking cow? We're a fucking cow would be right now if we weren't eating that. Yeah, I know that. I know that. That's the analogy that I use all of the time. People don't think of themselves as livestock, but they are. They absolutely are. An UFO, you can fix no consume animal products during 1 month, and you will notice no, my man. I don't eat animal products. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Delamon 007. I have CFS and am basically fucked up and bedridden. Not even 30 years old yet, but no one knows about CFS. Wow. Polska Bob, busy day, just getting to lunch now. Wow, man. Wow. We'll sit down and enjoy it, brother. Francesco, hate to be that guy, but weed helps with the pain. I've already had a few people that I know that smoke, and they're like, I mean, you could, and I'm like, no, I can't. That's not for me. That's never been for me, and I'll just have to deal. Dragon Sanguis, gods, stop annoying with that no animal product shit. I can eat only meat and be perfectly fine. As soon as I eat too much bread, rice, or shit like that, I balloon up. Yeah, it's true for a lot of people. It's true for a lot of people. Delamon 007, CFS is chronic fatigue syndrome, by the way. Yeah, I've got it. That's what it goes when you start taking all of these fucking medications that they dump on you. I have massive waves of fatigue, and it's followed by waves of pain, like nauseating waves of pain. And if I can make it through my work day, I make it through my work day. But yeah, I've already opened the case, and my doctor already sent me down to the DM. I'm sorry, I put my hands in the way there. Sent me down to the DMV, and I got my cripple plate, and I got my little hanger tag. And my son was like last week, he was like, Dad, you can park up front now. And I said, what? There's no spaces. And he says, you got the little thing, you got the tag thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. That doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, man. It's crazy shit. Evangelos. I can't even do the last one there. So surgery. If I wanted both hips, no, absolutely not. No fucking way. No way. Salty Tech. I was banned from Facebook by stating the obvious. If you take the hunter out of the woods, you stand the deer in the middle of the road. I'm an auto body professional. I made my career out of deer. Yeah, I believe it. We get a lot of them here too. I was on the phone with somebody a couple of years ago and we were discussing deer strikes. And she's an insurance adjuster. And she said, I thought that was a joke when somebody said to me it was a deer strike. And I said, well, you've heard of bird strikes with aircraft, right? She's like, well, yeah. And I said, well, it's the same thing. Deer strikes, animal strikes. In these parts of the world, it happens a lot. Like a fucking ton. Mohamed El Said. Nope, Francisco. Pain is the best motivation to get stronger. I'll take your word for that. Free Ross at Red, in 1914, the Federal Reserve was formed, which created a debt-based economy, and we are indebted to a few select elites. Lo and behold, 15 years after that, the worst economic crisis in history. Wandering refuge. There you go. Yeah, and the way some of these things are crammed all together, you can barely tell what it is. Can weight loss help at all? No. I wouldn't tell you to go and be 800 pounds. I wouldn't say that. That was one of the first things that I asked him. I said, if I lost a few pounds, how would that work out? And he's like, it wouldn't. Weight loss is not going to help you. I said, would it have helped 15 years ago? And he says, no. And he looked at me and he says, by the way, how much weight did you lose? And I said, a lot. A ton. And he was like, fuck. Aries rising. I second that comment. Chrome Dome Omega. Oh, fuck this shit. I'm making you a new bionic body. We can't afford to lose you yet. I don't know, brother. I don't know. These are strange days. And man, I have a really mixed bag like every single day. But I still get up. I still try. Drive 6 hours, go and be on redonkulous. You know what I'm saying? And live life up until the point where you have to make changes. You live your life the best that you can up until the point where you can't. And then you figure out what you got to do. 1 hour, 18 minutes. Insanity. I'm telling you, insanity. 205 people in here eyeballing right now. Pinhead is now a woman. Is that true? Delamon didn't know what it was until a few weeks ago myself. I knew something was up, but it was pretty obvious that something was wrong. And well, yeah, there's over a 90% chance it's CFS. Yeah, I believe it. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and my legs are on fire. Or when I go to stretch, they feel like they're just going to explode, or you get in a particular position and it's not a repetitive particular position. It's just whatever it is. And your toes start tingling, your heels tingle, your calves tingle. And I mean, not just like a tingle, but it's like you're being stuck with thousands of needles. It's a bizarre sensation. You know that there's nothing there, right? You know that you're in your bed. You're not dreaming. It's crazy shit. Oh. Salty Tech. The fucking Sierra Club lost its mind. I had green-haired retards attacking me left and right. I told them to go fuck themselves, and now I'm banned from social media. That's unsocial media to you, sir. Unsocial media. Delimon 007. Same brother. Insomnia is awful. It sucks. You can see it in my face. I mean, just look at my eyes. That's 3 days of this fucking shit. It's just constant. I have to be just obliterated to go to sleep, to get any kind of sleep at all. And then if I'm going to fucking work, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Mohamed El Saeed, tolerance of pain is good. Sure is. Francisco, shit, man. Yeah. Retarded dwarf, wow, not good. Hammer. Do all you can to reduce inflammation with diet, movement, etc. Good luck and thanks for sharing your experience. Well, it won't be the last time. I mean, I'll do this for as long as I can do it. But I got to be honest with you. It's going to affect the way that I schedule things. And it's been affecting the way that I've had to schedule things. Normally, I'm a little more productive. A little more productive. That's why the shorts became as appealing to me as they did, because it gives me a way to put stuff out there and not be planted in this chair. It's like right now, from the backs of my knees all the way up to my lower back is just on fire. The right side of my thigh is on fire. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Vanish Mantle. What's up, Hammer? How goes things? Chilling. Literally chilling. Everything's cool, man. I just do my thing here, just talking and bullshitting, talking about health. And health for men, health for women, mental health, physical health is so, so very important. You got to understand the things out here that are marketed to you directly, that are sold to you under the guise of health. Anything that says diet XXX, don't get it. Don't put it in your body. You're just doing yourself a disservice. Most of the things that people eat here, if you didn't know better, you would call it kibble. For dogs, cats, pets. Because that's what it is. It's kibble. That's what your owners feed you. Serious Major Music, socialist media. Oh yeah, man. Crazy Eights drums. Yeah, but women will put a man in hell more than a man will put a woman there. I would agree. On average, I would agree. I would say that it's right at 50-50. They're becoming much more masculine, much more violent, much more willing to commit violence. They have God complexes falling out of their asshole. They get to determine when, who, and how life happens with them, regardless of who makes the life. You tell me that you're not absolutely making and then catering to insanity. Of course you are. Of course you are. Well, you personally might not be, but the people that enable these people, they are. Arthur Morris, move to Mexico, let the U.S. burn. I think if there's anything going down here with this country, I will face it here. I'll face it here. For all of that talk and all of that bluster that people have about pulling up stakes and abandoning ship, this is my home. This is the land of my forefathers. This is where they came to escape tyranny and religious persecution. And we're right back at it again. 245 years, right? This country was in trouble 5 or 6 years after people started to settle here. Because all they do is import the fucking bullshit. And then the bullshit finds another place to fester. And I don't think people are strong enough or courageous enough to do what they really have to do when it comes to dealing with peoples and entities like this. That's just my opinion. James Young, I suffer from insomnia as well. I go through the same as you, Hammerhand. Hey, man, I have nothing but sympathy. I guess that's a good word. Sympathy for folks that go through the kinds of shit that keep them out of positions in life, that stop them from living their lives the best that they can live them, sends them to early retirement. It's a very real possibility that I will be medically retired here in the next 12 months. Hopefully we can hang on for the next 12 months and make it happen. So that's one of the things that we were supposed to talk about on Redonkulous, but I don't regret not speaking about that, to be honest with you. The vibe was so fucking good, I just didn't want to tear it up. So when Blake was telling me, we might not have that's fine, brother, that's fine. Let's just go with what was planned, and we'll just do it that way. If we don't get it here, I can go ahead and do what I got to do elsewhere, Lucid Legend, retiring off of crypto myself. I hear some folks are pulling out. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you feel is right. JP Atkinson, would you re-upload the Ghost Nation series? Really enjoyed those videos. You can catch all of those over on Odyssey. I have 2 channels over there, Hammerhand the MGTOW Monk, and what is it? Just Hammerhand. Yeah, Hammerhand, and then Hammerhand the MGTOW Monk. And those 2 series are complete up there, complete. Give me 2 seconds here, gang. Let me see if I can go find the links to those, and I'll come right back. Hang on. All right, back. Did you guys see those links? There you go. Okay, so the links are up, and actually I'll pop that bitch right there. There you go. And from that link right there, you can follow the other channels that I also have installed under those. At Hammerhand, I used to knock one off to get to sleep when I had insomnia. It worked better than booze or sleeping pills. Well, I'm not going to discuss that, sir. Thank you very much for volunteering. Hey, caramba. Caitlin McIntyre, we see him. Glad to see that. The entirety of the 40K channel that was whacked, that is on one of those 2 Hammerhand channels. Did you get both of those, or... Yeah, you did. Okay, you got both of them. So it's Hammerhand the MGTOW Monk, and then Hammerhand on Odyssey. So, guys, jump on over there and sub to the channels, please. Please sub to the channels. The day is going to come, and I feel that the day is coming fast, where YouTube is not going to be an option. I want to be here. I love building a base here every single time they knock the shit out of me. But it's going to come down to some type of threat or coercion or some type of criminal liability for making channels after they've told you, fuck you. After they've given you your papers and sent you on your way, if you make another channel, you're going to open yourself up to some bullshit. So, yeah. Eventually the day is going to come. So if you want to stay with the red pills, you want to stay with monk philosophy, you want to learn more about MGTOW, go to those and sub to them. And thank you. Citizen Awesome, what was so funny, Francesco? I don't know nothing about that one. Serious Major, The Ghost Nation. Universal Penis, that's an amazing screen name. It's amazing. Hey, Hammer, speaking of food, I grew some Sikkim cucumbers for the first time and really liked them. They turn brown when ripe, so for the holidays, my friends are getting brown pickles. Outstanding. D-Man 50 would love to try quail and quail eggs. I've never tried quail eggs before. I wonder if they're any different than regular eggs. Excuse me. Imperfection Citizen, sweet ass thumbnail on the latest Odyssey video. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And I will be getting all of this stuff that's on this new Hammerhand channel here. I will be getting all of that put over to Odyssey. You just got to give me some time to get with shit, because my days got a lot longer when I started taking all of that fucking medication. A lot longer in some respects and a lot shorter in other respects, especially time-wise. As far as time management is concerned, it's really thrown a monkey in the wrench. Steel, they all want us to be co-baby daddies. They can eat that ass. No thanks. No thanks. I went down that route. I played the role of the good citizen and the thoughtful, caring man, and I lost 14 years of my life. I lost my daughter, and I don't think I'll be doing that again. I don't think so. It was unfortunate and silly and shameful that it happened the way that it happened. But had I been acquainted with the red pill, with MGTOW philosophy, it wouldn't have happened. But I wasn't. I was exactly what I was born and bred to be, a blue pill provider. That's what I was born to be. When you enable the removal of fathers from homes in exchange for cash, monetary payments to remove men and masculinity, that's what you end up with. And it's a fucking miracle. It's an absolute miracle that some men find their way out of that intentional sabotage to get to a point in their 30s or 40s or 50s, or even later, for many people, even later, that they can start to find a sense of self and try to make some kind of sense out of what's going on. It's a fucking miracle. Just a miracle. So, yeah. Generations of ruined people. You know? Generations of ruined people. Millions. Millions and millions and millions. And here we are. 1 hour and 32 minutes. And 178 of y'all chilling, watching this old graybeard dog shit. Sith. Shiba Inu coin is increasing vastly. Draconis sanguis. I'll keep my crypto. Won't make me rich, but who knows? Yeah, no doubt. Undead Chronic in the house. Hammerhand Chillstream. What's good? Nothing, man. We still streaming later on, brother. You gotta holler at me, man. Let me know, because you never answered me back. If we're not, that's all good too. John Brown, I found immense sadness when facing the reality of red pill. It is sad. It's sad. You don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe that everything that you were raised to support is a fraud. Nobody wants to believe it. Just look around. Hey, what's up? Hey, you over there? Hey, oh, you over there? Yeah, man, I saw all of y'all. Just look around. It's not hard to see. You have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And I think millions of people are flooding into red pill and MGTOW and monk because they get it. And it's hard. It's difficult. And they want to know that there's somebody out here that is speaking the truth to them without trying to reach into their pockets. That's a big problem. It's a big problem out here. I see a lot of motherfuckers rolling around in good cars and nice clothes because they're fleecing people with hope. That ain't good. I don't co-sign that shit. I never have and I never will. But as far as immense sadness when facing the reality of the red pill, it's normal. We call it the red pill rage. You may not actually be raging. You may be in a depressed state for an extended period of time. But it takes time for you to get used to the new reality, the trueness of the new reality. The new reality is that you've been told a whole bunch of shit that's not true. It's not true. Now, can you find somebody out there that says, I've been married for 20 years, 30 years. She's my best friend. We've got 6 kids. Everything is fucking great. I wouldn't trade it. Yes, 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 yes. You can find that. Barely. Barely. There are always exceptions. Always. What there isn't is somebody that can stand up and justify why there are no marriages, why there are no children being born in Western countries. It's the end result of unrestricted liberalism, hypergamy, and female rights. You don't have to like it. You just got to understand that it's true. When you leave it up to the vessel that births life, and you tell them that they have a choice, a lot of them are going to choose not to. And then that's when you remove them. You let them go on their merry way, drink their bottles of wine, kill off 10 cats, go on their fucking Pacific cruises, start growing babies. We're headed that way. I don't know why it's so hard for people to see. As a female, the only thing that makes them worthwhile is birthing life. That's it. That's it. It's not their hopes. It's not their dreams. It's not what they were told in kindergarten about misogyny and being able to be their own CEO. It's not any of that. It's birthing life. It's the continuation of the species. Men provide the life. Women birth the life. We were a partnership, a co-op. We aren't that anymore. And it sucks. But you can get used to the suck, and you can get past that shit. And it's not hard to do. You just have to put it in its proper perspective. For me, it's easy. When I get the little tingle, and I see somebody, I'm like, all I think about is jail. That's what I think about. I think about a false accusation. I think about all the time and the money that it took me to get this shit on my walls, that it took me to get those models, that it took to get that model station, all of this stuff right here that I come to you with. I think about that being gone over a decision to like somebody. And then it's an easy fucking sell for me. It may not work that way with you. I didn't choose materialism over females. I chose my life over females. It's a no-brainer. No contest. You just said it right there, brother.
Unboxing stream.
Right on. Thank you. Hey, is there anything in the main box?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to get down here to the bottom of these comments here, and we're going to go back up a little bit. I'm going to read a couple of them, and then I think I'm going to take off. And we're moving in on close to 2 hours. So I think that's enough. You don't need to listen to this motherfucker any more than that, do you? Salty Tech. Right now, there's 2 white guys circle jerking each other on Twitter over how they have successfully eliminated white men from the workforce through the use of algorithms because they are next. I have no idea what that means. And if they've eliminated white men from the workforce, they should probably go tell all the white men in the workforce. Retarded Dwarf Hammer, in light of your current health situation, are you more or less motivated to keep producing men's themed content? I hope it has motivated you in some positive ways, a silver lining for you. I'm no less motivated at all. The fact of the matter is that rolling out of that bed every single morning at the same time, I have no idea what the day is going to be like. Some days, with the exact same medications in place. Now, these medications have been in my system for 90 days. It's been about 90 days. And with a couple of tweaks here and a couple of tweaks there, like I used to eat with the medication, but it would make me violently ill, violently sick. I was immobile for 2 hours, easy. So I don't eat with the medication anymore. I'll eat like an hour after. That works out a little bit better. But damn, I forgot my train of thought. See what happens? You ask old people questions. What's wrong with you? No, I'm just playing. Yeah, man, I'm always motivated. Like I said, I just never really know what the day is going to bring anymore. Under the exact same circumstances, I could have a completely different day from one day to the next. So that's a little on the sucko side. I don't really like that. I don't know anybody that would like that, but I'm as motivated as I've ever been to produce content. That's not a thing for me. The only issue that I have is thinking about being hung out to dry by an employer because my issues, my current health issues are causing problems. It's causing problems. My employer's been fantastic, by the way. They have been great. Great. If they came to me tomorrow and said, look, we can't really work with what's going on here. I think we might have to make a change. I'd be like, well, that's going to suck a little bit because it's going to hang my cheese in the fucking wind, but I get it. But they haven't said that. And we've been very honest, talking back and forth. And hopefully they've been honest with me. But no, my motivation doesn't suffer one little bit. Not one bit. Just the ability to get up and not be violently sick. Like violently sick to my stomach. I go through maybe 2 waves of that just nasty nausea every single day. And then intense pain. I mean, it's intense fucking pain. Like your fucking hands are like this, and you start to bend them. It feels, like I said earlier, it feels like I've got pencils under my skin, and it just not good. Not good shit. Excuse me. The CPEPI, did I get it right? Sigma trend growing as well. Everything is a lie. Politics, education, monetary system, history, religion. Not everything is a lie. There's a whole bunch of truth in there. A whole bunch of truth. And all of this shit that you could point the finger at and say, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. Hardly anything is an absolute lie. Hardly anything. There's some truth to everything. But finding out what it is the problem. And everything, I agree, is contaminated. Everything. We don't know a lot of what we think we know. And I think a lot of people are waking up to the idea that they don't know a lot of what they thought they knew. Serious major music, pure blood, pure blood. Steel, mandatory birth control is next. For who? I don't know. But they're trying to get that male birth control shit going again. So, Way of the Kodiak, man, that's exactly what I see. Jedi Run, yes, it's called Seeing the Forest for the Trees, Hammer. I see lots of forests and I see lots of trees. And yes, they do make noises when they fall over. Craig Furness, got to go back to work, gentlemen. Get on in there, sir. Get on in there. And thanks for dropping by, Craig. I appreciate it. Logic wins. Great mindset, Hammer. You know, a couple of folks, I've let a couple of folks in on what's going on and how it's affecting life, you know, on a day-to-day basis. And like my circle is small. So I've told a couple of people. And, well, obviously, I'm telling all of you now. I don't sit around and woe is me. I don't sit around and pity myself. I try to make the day work. This is the hand that you're dealt. Play the gosh darn hand out. I don't like to say that word anymore. Play the hand out. You know, can you make your life better while you're dealing with the things that you're dealing with? Yeah, you can. I can't live in a world where every day has no meaning. The long and the short of that statement is that I wouldn't be living in that world. It's very easy to go out and delete yourself if that's your outlook on life. My outlook on life is that I've got a son. I love my son. I want to see my son grow up and become a productive person, not a productive citizen. There's a difference. You know, I just want him to be happy, and I want him to be capable. You know, when he's happy and capable, then I think I'll be ready. I'll be okay. To that end, I'm not ready yet. Not ready. Yeah, not ready. An UFO, 5 minutes of fun, sweet, and loose, your liberty and money. What? Oh, okay, I got you. 5 minutes of fun, sweet, and lose your liberty. And yeah, okay. I got you. Craig, I fucked up. Doc Holiday, Texas MGTOW. Later, Craig. Ken Locke, stupid has killed America. Education keeps people ignorant. That's one thing I think that people really need to understand is they're conflating the word education with intelligence. There's big problems there. Education is indoctrination. Education and indoctrination are almost the same thing today. Education is not an equivocation of your intelligence. It's not. Lucid Legend 84. I want my son to be better than me. That's very subjective. It's very subjective. But I do understand what you mean. You know what I wanted for my son, what I still want for my son. I didn't want my son to grow up being brutalized like I was, like my brother was. I didn't want my son growing up understanding what the horrors of sexual molestation and daily beatings were like. I didn't want my son growing up wondering if he was normal or gay because of sexual molestation. All of those things run through the mind of any person that has been sexually molested or beaten into a hole for an extended period of time. I was no different. My brother was no different. Those things happened, but they haven't happened to him. He's infinitely better off now at his age than I was at his age. I was at his age, at 13, I was just beginning my 25-year odyssey to try to figure out what life meant. That's a lot of rage, lots, like murderous rage. And it's only by the grace of God that I didn't get killed or kill somebody in the process. So, yeah. Lots of talking to oneself. I knew psychiatry was bullshit, even from an early age, with no red pills involved. I knew psychiatry was horse shit. If you have to pay somebody to listen to your woes, they're not listening to your woes. They're not interested in you. They're interested in the pay. That's why they're there. It's a job. So he's already vastly ahead of me. He's much, much better off than I was. In a lot of ways, he is already much better than me. He won't spend 30 years trying to figure out what the fuck this meant. Why did it happen? He won't spend that time doing that. He'll spend that time investing in his life. I wish that I had that. I don't know if it would have been any more productive. than it has been. But I wish I had had that. I think that would have made all the difference in the world for my brother and myself. Caitlin McIntyre. Men shouldn't have to die for anyone or have to die to protect anything, period. But that's just my opinion. Free Ross at Caitlin McIntyre. Also, you're trivializing giving birth and raising children. It's an important role. Without it, none of us would be here. I agree with both of you. That is possible, to agree with both of you. I do agree with both of you on that. Giving birth has been turned into a circus, a sideshow, a freak show. I don't know if there was ever a time where it was held as sacred. But for me, it always was. I delivered both of my kids. And to watch one of them go away, that's unbelievable. There's so many other things that I would like to say, but none of them do it justice. It's unbelievable to put that kind of time in and watch somebody just walk away from you. Yeah, so trivializing birth is not a good plan, especially for women. But they did it, and they had a lot of help. There's a lot of dysfunction in the world, and hardly any of it hardly any of it forms in a vacuum. It's all assisted, all of it. Polar Bear Predator, 100% Hammer, 100%. Salty Tech, Doc Holiday, you just made my day. John Gorska, Usurping. Jim Silver, his and mine mindset about being raised based in reality, period. That's all. Serious Major Music, prayers to your brother Hammerhand. Thank you, man. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you. Prayers to you back. Shay Necht, I would have never been a daddy had I been red-pilled sooner. Yeah, oh, man. You ain't fucking kidding on that one. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Mohammed El Sayed, teach your son the Bible of old and teach him how to survive and behave, nothing more than being an example to your son. I agree with you. 100%. Sir Weedbong Ventura, her name is Caitlin. I don't know what you mean. I thought I called her Caitlin. Caitlin McIntyre at Free Ross. I know it's an important role, but there's definitely more that a woman has to offer than just that. Like what? Like what? What's selfless about a woman other than birth? And even then it comes with a grudge. What's selfless about a woman? If there's more to life for a woman than birth, it's self-involved. It's about her. It's not about him. It's not about them. It's not about the child, not about family. You have to be a particularly kind of crazy woman out here today to think that way, because everyone will make you think that you're crazy if you value your husband, if you value your children, your home, your life, the identities that you have forged with them, because of them, in spite of them, sometimes. Yeah. Imperfect Citizen. Wow. Caitlin McIntyre. One more again. Caitlin's busy. At Jim Silver, not trolling, promise, just having friendly discussion. There you go. And that's what we're here to do. Kwai Chang Kang. HD Man 50. I hope your daughter reaches to you. I have both my sons. I am fortunate. I don't think it's going to happen. Bro, I don't think that's going to happen. I went to pick my son up today, and she was standing out on the porch with her boyfriend at their grandmother's house while I was picking my son up, and I was 20 feet away. She wouldn't look at me. She wouldn't say anything to me. She got turned pretty effectively. And her mother did that to her because she knew that she could take advantage of her. She knew that she could do that, and she did it. I can't walk up on her and force her to recognize anything. I can't. She doesn't understand that every day that goes by is one that she's not going to get back. We don't come this way again. She doesn't understand that. She's very young. But I can't wake up every day feeling like I have failed because of someone else's decisions. So I don't. I'm happy in the knowledge that she's got a good life, that she's working, that she's doing her thing, and she's not oppressed or suppressed or being beaten. It's none of that. It's just without me. And I'm not a particularly selfish kind of person. So as long as she's good, I'm good. Sucks a little bit, but as long as she's good, I'm good. Jim Silver, fair enough. I'm going to hold you to that. Ken Locke, and the motherfucker jumped. And I'm sorry, I ain't going all the way back up there. John Gorski, it doesn't get any more friendlier. Sir Weed Bong Ventura. I'm just going to call you Sir Weed from now on. When you say my handle, Hammerhand, you say my full name. It's an anagram. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that was a good timing then. Bend over. It's sad how your ex poisoned her soul. Well, the ex didn't have a soul to begin with, and my daughter did. And I still think that she does. The unfortunate part about it is that it's not a life that has me in it, and I don't think that she's going to recognize that until she's considerably down the road, if ever. So, like I said, I have to be good for me. I have to be good waking up and knowing that my life is going to go forward. I can't be stuck on that day or in that frame of mind forever. Who in the hell would want to do that? I don't want to do that. There's nothing I can do about it. You don't run up on somebody and give them the baby shake and be like, I'm your dad. What the fuck are you doing? I know why she's doing what she's doing. And one day, eventually, her mother's guilt will get the better of her and she'll say something. And she'll come forward or she won't. It is what it is. I always fuck this one up. Tihan Hall? Tijena Hall? If Carolyn Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie would appear today, the feminists would stone her. Yes, they would. The first thing that they would try to do is paint her up like a whore, put her in a mini skirt, and put her on the stroll. That's what they would do. And I think that we all know that. Lucky Rockmore, on their deathbeds, they will say, woe is me. Of course they will. Kaboom! Just when you thought you got over the red pill rage, you get red pilled for a whole week straight every day by the last friends and family that are close. Yeah. Darth Hideous. LOL, women don't feel guilt. That's a man thing. I'm going to disagree with you slightly on that. I think that they do feel guilt, but just not the way that we feel it. MGTOW, Quiet Earp. Brother Earp. Brother Trucker. What's going on, sir? How you doing? In the house. MGTOW Life. Brother Quiet Earp. It's been a minute. Way Merck's Way. The Bruce. The Red Pill Vegan. I know what you're going through. I haven't seen my 4 daughters since September of 2017. Had to go visit my youngest daughter at school for her lunch break just to see her. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I mean that. You know, we spoke about that a little bit on the podcast at Redonkulous about what it meant for a man to be pulled away from his children. It's like you bury that kid every weekend. Because when they come back days later, they're similar, but they're different. You know? And it's a constant thing for years and decades in some cases where you see your kids. Blake put it very, very apropos. It was very decent. You see your kids growing up and fast forward. And you're just a bystander in their lives. And sometimes you're even in the way. So that's why you have to find a way to deal with life when that shit comes to you. You have to find a way. It is a duty. It's an obligation to not let yourself be pulled under by that kind of grief, you know, especially if you already had issues with yourself emotionally or spiritually. You really, really got to work hard not to get pulled in, not to get sucked in by depression, things of that nature. That's a tough deal. And I hope that you are handling it as good as you can handle it. Jeffrey Stosser, they feel guilt when they get caught. Don't they all? Don't they all? Creative Patriot, Hammer. How about that popular belief that love shows up when you least expect it? Care to debunk? I don't know about debunk. Love shows up when you least expect it. You know, I hear that bullshit when women are like, I just stopped looking for it. I stopped caring about it. And then all of a sudden it just showed up. And I would be more inclined to believe that it was a gradual, perpetual weeding down of those godlike standards. That's what I would be more inclined to believe. As the days, weeks, months, and eventually years start to roll off and click off and they get older, they start talking to themselves. Well, I don't really need that. Well, I'm too old for that now. I don't need that. And then they'll talk themselves into believing some hyperbole about, well, I just stopped caring, and then all of a sudden, there he was. People can talk themselves into anything. They can. That's one of the unique properties of the human, is that they are delusional on many, many levels, while seeming somewhat normal. Salty Tech, our lives are a gift to be enjoyed, to be lived, and to be free. I agree with you. 100. Retarded Dwarf, no one is perfect. You have to learn to rise above life's challenges and mistakes. Never fold and self-delete. Just keep on trucking, y'all, for the win. We're at 2 hours and 3 minutes right now into this cast. 243 of you son of a bitches, crazy human beings, sitting here watching this old man run off at the mouth talking shit. I hope you guys have had a good one. I had only planned on going for an hour today, but fuck it. It was flowing. Everything is good. And I did have some things that I needed to say to you to get you to understand this production schedule is going to slow. It is going to slow down, plain and simple. It's just the way of the world. It's the way that the cards have been dealt. And that's just what it's going to be. That doesn't mean that I'm going. Not gone. Not yet. If we have a massive heart attack down around the way, well, there it is. It's gone. But until something like that happens, I'm here. And I'll be here. But the production schedule is definitely going to slow down a little bit. I need to start taking some time out for myself. I need to start working on stuff like, I don't know if I can show you, but see right over there? What do you see on that table right there? See those two rockets? See those? Working on them 2 rockets right now. Those 2 rockets are about 40 years old. So I've had them sitting around for a long time. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to make them. So I started both of them last night, and just got to do it. Got to start taking some time out for me. So when I do put stuff up, it'll have a little more, I hope, impact, a little more production quality. And I don't know. What else do I want out of it? I want it to mean something. I always wanted it to mean something. So, JR, live long and prosper, Hammerhand. I will try. Cyberzoni, model rocketry is great. I love model rocketry. So, MGTOW life, not raising my son like I wanted to. It's led to motorcycle trips, getting a bicycle with car hookups. It's keeping the mind solid. I agree with you, man. Freeman 37, cool. Yeah, bro. In your particular situation, having cancer the way that you've had it, and the similarities between you and Invention and the different routes taken, there's something to be said for that. There definitely is. There's something to be said for that. But statistically, y'all ended up with the same chance. But I think you're going to fare a little bit better. I do believe that. I hope so anyways. So gang, I'm going to get the hell out of here. Y'all have fun, live long and prosper, and we'll see you for the next one. Peace out, and watch out for them shorts, because I'm going to start loading this channel up with shorts. I've got, like 200 of them. So if notifications bug you, turn your notifications off for the channel for the next couple of days, and come on back and say what's up. Man, it's always my pleasure to come here and speak to y'all. It's always my pleasure to see you. And it's always my pleasure to watch you grow this channel when we get kicked in the ass. Because y'all do that. I don't do that. Y'all do that. So thanks for helping me grow this 7th iteration of Hammerhand. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one.